The series that. Hello, good evening to you all, and welcome to tonight's edition of our regular Bible study. But it's going to take a different turn. In fact, the whole of the month of February is going to be different. I'm excited that tonight we're going to have an awesome discussion. And if you are watching us for the first time, please don't go anywhere. Make sure you are focused for the next 1 hour. It's going to be a dynamite. But I want to welcome you all. I'm Bishop E. Moses Ashun of Life Chapel. And I want us to bow down our heads and share a word of prayer. Shall we pray? Father, we are so grateful to you. We thank you for our lives. We thank you for our families. We thank you for giving us a new day. Father, we have gone through the day. You have sustained us, and our hearts are filled with gratitude. We say thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for your provision, your protection over us. And thank you also that you have given us the privilege to come before your presence. We ask that your spirit would take absolute control over everything we do tonight. May you use us, O God, to speak to the heart of every listener. I pray this will be a monumental moment, O God, a momentous epoch, oh God. We will remember this forever. I pray you will touch the hearts of every single one, oh God. At the end of this service, may we all testify that of a truth we have had an encounter with you. We bless you, we honor you, and we yield to you. We say take control in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, tonight I am not the one bringing you the word. We're going to have a wonderful discussion. I realize that in the Bible, especially in the epistles, the writers like Paul, like Peter, like John, like James, they address very pertinent issues, and especially issues that were current in the church at the time. So, for example, there are some chapters that are given only to marriage. For example, there are things said about conflict resolution and all that. So this whole month is the month of relationship in Life Chapel, and we are going to be discussing a lot of different kinds of relationship. Tonight, I have here high schoolers, college students, and young adults. Okay, a combination of high schoolers, college students, and young adults. And they're going to introduce themselves to you. They're going to tell you their names, what they do, whether they are in school, they are out of school. They're going to also tell you what they do at church. So you get to know them by their name, their school, their church, and all that. And so, well, voila. This is my panel for tonight. Wow. Are you all excited to be here tonight?
Yes.
Are your mics on?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start from Angel. You introduce yourself. We're going to go through, and then the guys will also. This is no segregation, okay? We just had to do it this way. Well, here you go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Angel. I'm one of the young adults. I went to Georgia State. I currently work at Chick-fil-A. I'm a manager there for the time being. I'm a choir member. I'm one of the youth leaders. And yeah, I'm just glad for this opportunity and can't wait to see what happens next.
Hi, Angel. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Diella. I'm currently a junior in high school, and I sing in the choir here at church.
Hi, Diella. You're welcome. That's my little baby, the last one.
Hi, everybody. My name is Zora. I serve inside of the choir here at Life Chapel. I'm a part of the youth. I'm a senior currently, so I'll be graduating very shortly. And yes, that's it.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher. I'm currently a full-time student at Gwinnett Tech. I'm part of the worship and praise team for Life Chapel, so I play the guitar. So I'm glad to be a part of this. So let's see how this goes.
Hi, my name is Gideon. I do the audio visual here at Life Chapel, and I go to Georgia State.
Okay. Hi, Gideon. Hi, Chris. Hi, Zora. Hi, everyone. Hi, all of you. Well, to all those who are used to just seeing Bishop or one of our pastors just ministering, like I said tonight, these young ones are the ones going to minister to you. They're going to be addressing issues, but we didn't want it to be so formal, so we wanted just an informal discussion that will bless you a whole lot. That will bless you a whole lot. Very soon, I'll just be asking questions, and they would be answering those questions. Their answers will be the message of the day. Now, to the panel, all I want to say is this. You are free to disagree with each other. Remember this. You are here to share your opinion, okay? And so you are not going to make judgment calls. You're not going to determine who is right, who is wrong. You're going to say what you think, what you know, how you feel, and we will be able to listen to all of you. At the end, of course, I'll draw a conclusion here and there, but it's not going to be right or wrong issue. We just want to know your thoughts on certain things, and you're going to all educate us, including me, okay, on some wonderful, wonderful questions I have 15 questions. I don't know whether we'll be able to answer all of them. Okay, there are 5 of you. That means chances are each one will be starting with a question. But most questions we will have more than one person answer. Okay, so we will hear different people's opinion on that. You have 2 to 3 minutes to answer a question. If I realize you are going beyond 3 minutes, I will gladly prompt you and bring somebody else in. To our audience, to our congregation, I didn't give them the questions ahead of time for a reason. I didn't want any Google answers, okay? So I didn't want them to go and research on Google or tap into somebody else's idea. I just wanted a very honest, candid, frank discussion on what they think. These have been brought up in different homes, but also here in Life Chapel. Almost all of you have been here for more than 2-3 years, right? Yeah, so you're going to hear them. They are our next generation leaders. Some of them are leaders already. And you're going to really be able to tap into them. If you are a young person and you are watching us from outside, please don't go anywhere. This is going to be a blessing to you. If you're an adult, call your young ones. Let them listen to these. And adults also, I'm sure you'll be able to learn a whole lot from this session. I am ready to learn. So here we go. I think I will start with Angel. I'll start with Angel. So, Angel, since we are talking about building meaningful relationships, especially as it relates to young people, I want to ask you this question. What is the most meaningful relationship to you? And tell me why. I believe you have all kinds of relationships, okay, at home, at work, at church, you have friends. But to you personally, okay, what's the most meaningful relationship in your life? If you are to, I know all relationships might mean something to you, but what's the most meaningful? And why do you consider that relationship the most meaningful?
I would say the most meaningful relationship to me in my life, and people will think, oh, of course, she's going to say that. But it's true. I think my relationship with God is the most meaningful relationship, just because it's what gets me through the day. Like, there's a lot of things that go on in my life, and I wouldn't be able to go through it well if I didn't have God. So yeah, I would say my most meaningful relationship is my relationship with God. I know a lot of people will think, like, of course, that's what the answer she's going to give and things like that, but it's true. It's true. It's my foundation. It's what I've been built on from when I was born, and I'll continue to be on that as well. So, yeah.
Awesome. Wow. I'm impressed already. I'm being blessed already. Let me ask, this time I'm not going to mention any name, and it goes to any of you. Other than God, okay, what would any one of you say is your most important relationship? And I believe that Angel is right. I mean, to me, God should be the most important. I mean, okay, our relationship with God should be the most important to us. But other than our relationship with God, here on earth, with human beings, Well, let me be careful. Some people might be with their dog or their cat. Okay, so, but what is the most important relationship to you other than God? Which should be, who should be the one that we should relate to the most? Anyone?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
So definitely, I'll say my friends, because I don't call everyone my friends. So like my close friends, just because I can express myself and kind of tell things that are kind of deep that I wouldn't tell anybody else. So like my close friends, just because I get great advice, and sometimes I make, not great decisions, and for example, Gideon can come and be like, "Hey, Chris, I don't think you should do that." So like my close friends are like meaningfully relation. Wait, how do you say the word? Sorry.
The most meaningful relationship.
Meaningfully
Okay.
relationship. Sorry, English. Hey, meaningfully relationship. So definitely my close friends. Definitely,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyone else? Awesome. Okay, Zora.
For me, I would say my relationship with my siblings, definitely. One thing my mom always told us growing up was that siblings always have to stick together. So I definitely would say my siblings, because even like if you look at this COVID, this quarantine that we've gone through, who am I stuck alone? Who am I stuck with at home? My siblings. So definitely, yeah, definitely my siblings, because I feel like we can relate with a whole bunch of our experiences as we grow up. And also being an older sibling, I would say that's definitely one of my most meaningful relationships.
Awesome. Anybody else want to? No? Okay, come on, Gideon.
Just to piggyback off of what Chris said, yes, a friend, but like someone that, and even Bishop, you preached about it one time, someone that can tell you to sit down and you sit down. Not just, I met you at school and, we talk here and there, I got your number, Instagram, but like someone that they see you going wayward, they're like, yo, like, you really shouldn't be doing that. And you're like, okay, you know what, you're right. Let me not. And you consider what they say and act on it. So that's what I consider a meaningful relationship.
Okay. Okay. Jelly, you want to say anything?
I can say one of my most meaningful relationships was my mom. I would say my mom
Is or was?
is. Sorry.
Okay.
English.
I just wanted
English,
to know
like Chris said.
whether it, okay.
My mom, because as the qualities they mentions in a close friend, I would say my mom does that for me, because she advises me all the time on things that I need to do better. And she'll say it bluntly. That's the one thing I love about my mom. She'll say it so bluntly. It will hurt a little bit, but it's like, you have to grow from it. You have to learn from it. So, yeah, I would say my mom.
Okay. I guess I have to cry since I'm done that. Oh, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go on. So I believe that everyone can share, their most meaningful relationship, and it's fine. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. It depends on any individual. But let's move on, because some of the questions will have follow-up questions and all that. What do you think, Gideon, since you mentioned someone who can say sit down, and what do you think are the kinds of relationships or various kinds of relationships we need or that are necessary for our success in life? What kinds of relationship do we need? What kinds of relationship are needed, okay, for success in life? Any you can think of?
Okay, I would definitely say a mentor. Like that's number one. Of course, other than God, who you pray to, seeking advice and timing. A mentor, someone you can, talk to and directly get a response back. And it's also a mentor that has your best interest at heart, that will tell you straight up, like, what you're doing right now, not the right track, so let's try it this way. Or, I found this thing, I think you'll be good at it. Or you were talking about you want to do business. Well, I found a business internship at this place not too far from your house, so go here. So I would definitely say a mentor. That's the only one I can think of, to be honest.
Okay. Gideon thinks a mentor. I think so too. We all need mentors. Okay. Anyone else? Any other relationship that you think is meaningful for your success in life? Obviously, from what Diela said, parental relationship is very important. A lot of times, parents are the ones that guide us until we get to a certain age and all that. Okay, so parental. But I want to leave the floor open. Any other?
So I would say friends as well, but you have to be very selective in the type of friends that you choose because one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. And who you surround yourself with determines like your outcome as well. So if you surround yourself with people who have bad habits, you soon eventually will get bad habits as well. But if you surround yourself with people who have goals, ambition, they want a better relationship with God or anything like that, or they're making different type of moves, they don't want to be stagnant, you in the same instance will continue to follow what they're doing as well. So I feel like, yeah, having good friends, and the thing is, you don't have to have a lot. Like, you can have one or two, like, good, solid friends. A lot of people are consumed with having multiple friends. I don't know if it's because, like, Facebook, you got, like, 5,000 friends, or you, like, in. But, like, I feel like if you have one or two solid relationships that are building you up, then it's very helpful because you can't do this thing called life on your own. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to pick those two for now. Let's leave parental relationship aside because it's there. It's almost automatic. Okay, almost. Say it again. By force, yes, by force. Well, some people don't get that relationship with their parents, though. True?
Yeah, that's
I know
true.
people that don't have any kind of relationship with
Yeah.
with their parents, and that's unfortunate because it's so important. It's so important. You know, uh, my mother called yesterday, was asking how Lady Rev's restaurant was going, and she said, "Man, I saw the plates that y'all are using to serve. Man, that means you all will serve a lot because the plates are big." I laughed it off, but it was nice that she called all the way from Africa to, from Ghana to be precise, to check on the restaurant. Anyway, let me ask you specifically, since you all mentioned mentors and friends. Okay, how would you go about getting a mentor, and what are the qualities you would like to see in a mentor? Anybody? Well, Gideon. Okay. Gideon is on fire. Come on now.
Confident, smart, very smart, not just spiritually, but also earthly. Like one of my, I guess I can call him a mentor. He said some people are spiritually very up there, but earthly useless. Definitely has your best interest at heart, not scared to tell you what it is, no matter if it'll hurt or not. Is also considerate of what you're going through also, because sometimes some mentors is like, oh, I don't care if your mom died yesterday, you still got to go to, nah, okay, your mom died yesterday, let's take the day off, rest, let's just, mourn. So I would definitely say confident, smart, also well-rounded in the word, because we can't both be babies teaching each other. And someone has to know more than the other. In this case, your mentor that will help you get up there. So, yeah.
Okay. And how do you go about,
So how do you go about it?
yeah, like I saying, so let's say I believe that there are people who have those qualities around. Now, how do they become your mentor?
I think personally with me, with my life, how I chose my mentor, of course, Bishop is my mentor. I prayed about it, definitely. I prayed about it, make sure I seek wisdom, observed, everything that you did and things like that. But definitely, I think a great thing that you should do is pray about it, to kind of see, okay, is this the right person for my life and things like that. So I think prayer is actually a great thing to do. And then you can take see what's the next step, ask questions, and then go from there. Definitely.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now let me then revert to the friends aspect. Tell me about what you think. Tell me what you think about peer relationships and their influences. I believe all of you have friends. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you all don't have friends?
Oh, we have friends.
You have friends? Okay. Now, friends and influence. Okay. What are your thoughts on peer relationships and influence? Any thoughts at all? Would you say you influence your peers more, they influence you more? What kind of qualities do you look for? I know Angel touched on some, but because I hear some parents, though, no, you don't need to take friends out there because then they will spoil you and and all those. So tell me, especially from your perspective and your generation, how you think about peer relationships and the kind of influence that you have experienced, with some of your friends, some of the people you call friends.
I'll go. So definitely with me, a lot of my friends kind of got themselves into a lot of situation. So I was always the type of person to kind of influence them. Of course, my mom was like, "Oh, I don't think you should hang out with these people," or things like that. But I was the type of person. I'll stand my ground. So if they do anything that, that was kind of inappropriate, I wouldn't get involved in that. But I wouldn't disconnect myself from them. I'll kind of influence them, encourage them, and give them that advice they need. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to bless their life. Even though they didn't bless me, you know what I mean? But I wanted to pour more into their life, more than they poured into me. So definitely, those are
awesome.
Yeah.
Zara?
Okay, what I'll say is that definitely going off of what Chris said, I feel like when you are going to make friends, I feel like there's certain things about yourself that you have to be like solid in. Like for me, one thing will definitely be my faith. That's something that nobody's gonna touch. So if I'm hanging out with friends, like one thing I feel like is really controversial is if like whether you can make friends with people of different religions and situations like that. So I would say I have a friend who's Muslim and I can confidently call her my friend, and like she can share things about her religion with me, and I can share things about my religion with her. Like let's say when we were doing I remember we were doing the 21-day fast, and I came in, I was like, yeah, I'm not eating till like 2:00 after school, basically. And I remember telling Angel about this because she was able to keep me accountable, even though we're not like sharing the same religion. She's able to keep me like accountable. But there are certain things that if she were to tell me about her religion, I'm either going to turn a blind eye or I'm going to steer clear of that conversation as a whole, because I know myself, and I know that myself as a Christian, I'm solid in what I believe. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. I used to work out with this guy, and he was called Musa. Musa, and God being so good, I read a lot. So I had realized that Musa is the Islamic version for Moses. Oh. Okay, so I told him, do you know you and I have the same names? And he said, what, are you called Musa? I said, no, you're called Musa, I'm called Moses. But and he said, yes. And maybe Musa, that's the prophet Moses, right? So we began to talk about some of these things. And we became good friends, at the gym. That's one thing that a lot of Muslims, a lot of Christians can deal with. A long time ago, I read the story of a rabbi, a pastor, and an imam, who were three good friends. An imam, that's a Muslim, and he occupies a position that we would call a pastor, sort of. A pastor, that's a Christian. A rabbi, that's a Jew. And they were three good friends. Sometimes they shared meals together, and in one person's home, and they had discussions and all that. And they knew where they disagreed, and everyone knew where they stood in their faith. So I think the danger is in they affecting your faith. Yeah. So it's good that, Zora, you brought that up. Awesome. Anybody, any other thoughts on that before we move on? Or we can move on? because we are going to get into some deeper issues. You all know that. We have started slowly, but we will get. Okay, now let's move on a little bit. Let's go to your generation and my generation. Okay? Because I know that that's a tough one. What do you think, of your generation and ours? Any similarities, any differences in the way we view relationship, peer relationship of, sometimes parents come in and maybe their kids, their friends have come over or something like that, and it's a whole new ball game. So tell me about what do you think about your generation, our generation, and our views on relationship. Any similarities, any differences? What have been your experiences? Share some of them with us. Exciting ones. Come on now. I know you don't want to offend your mothers and fathers and all that, but it's all right. Come on. Who wants to go?
All right, I'll start.
Angel, okay.
I feel like, my parents' generation and my generation are completely different, but the thing is, I try to understand where they're coming from most of the time. I remember, in high school or middle school, I would want to go to sleep over at my friend's house, and my parents were like, no, you're not doing that. And I just didn't get it because, everybody else was doing it. So it was harmless, we're going to sleep over. So little things like that, I didn't get. To this day, I still don't understand, but, maybe when I have kids. But relationship-wise, I feel like we are on the same page for the most part. High school relationships, that's not a thing. And I don't know, African household is different from, American household, but it was cool for my friends in high school to be in a relationship, but I already knew that's just not an area I was going to go touch. But other than that, I would say for the most part, I get where my parents are coming from. It's hard sometimes, and that's the truth, but I understand their intentions, and I try to listen as much as I can and take it in, so, yeah.
Thanks, Angel. Any other? Come on now.
All right.
Okay. Diela, go Gideon.
Parent generation, our generation. I will say, my parent generation it's almost like the tree, so the foundation, fundamental parts, and then our generation kind of branched off into different directions. I will say that just like our phones, Apple, for example, or even Android, I don't know if it's every 3 months, every 6 months, but updates come that need to be downloaded, or else the phone doesn't work correctly. If anything, it can't work at the speed that it needs to. It can't process the same. I will say our parents' generation, I feel like in some aspects need to be updated because back in the days there were no phones. It was I have to walk to my distance house or I have to wait 2 days or 3 days before I can see this person so and so to tell them this. Well, with our phones now, it's like you can make a whole business transaction in 2 seconds. And so it's like, I just feel like the generation of our parents need to update a little bit, not too much, because they are the fundamental, they are the foundation that we came from. So in terms of similarities, I would say that in terms of their generation that I like is the respect part. When it comes to relationships, it's I'm down for you and you alone. If you're truly my friend, you're truly my friend through no matter what. That I give to our parents' generation. So yeah.
Do you all think that we understand you in terms of the way you view relationship, especially with your peers? Do you all think that our generation really understands you?
To an extent.
When you say relationship with our peers, like what do you mean? Just like
Like how
regular
you
hanging
relate,
out?
yeah, like hang out or
No.
yeah, no.
Why?
Why?
Basically, how Gideon stated it with our phones. Sometimes it'll be like we're on our phones to communicate with our friends. But then in the parents' eyes, it'll be like, you're on your phone too much, or this, or that. But like, especially when COVID hit, I don't see my friends at school because I don't go in person anymore. So sometimes I'll be on the phone with my friends, and then maybe my mom will come in and be like, you've been on this phone for so long, yada, yada. But, sometimes it's like, when we communicate with our friends, that's how in this generation our relationship stays. Because it's like sometimes with people is like when you don't text me, you don't call me, or I don't feel like we're friends anymore. So yeah, that's what I feel.
Let me say this. Maybe from my, I know I'm lingering on this a bit more than I want to because I have deeper questions, but I still want to get this. I feel like, and I may be wrong, I feel like most of our generation, things that that your generation doesn't maybe regulate time very well as it relates to dealing with friends. So that is why some of us parents come in to say, maybe can you just block a time for this and go on to something else? What do you think about our perception of your generation like that?
Oh, I can definitely say I agree with that. I hear that plenty from any African, any of my African friends or just friends in general. Um, but I will say this though. For example, Chris is like a brother to me. I can literally stay at his house all day, but it's not like I'm just sitting there on his couch just doing nothing. Me and Chris, we have deep, meaningful conversations. We talk about the Bible a lot, debate sometimes about what this means. Sometimes we'll call Bishop and ask him questions like, yo, Bishop, so me and Chris talking about this. What does it mean? Because someone's saying this and this one's saying that. So, all right, like, can you like settle the score for us? So in terms of, I can understand the time regulation, but I guess what it comes down to is what are you doing with your time at your friend's house? Is it just for fun? Like, what are you doing? Because if it was the case where, okay, we're working on a project and it's taking all day, then you're not going to hear anything from anybody. But he's like, oh, I'm going to Chris's house. For what? I don't know yet. I'm like, okay, then stay home. So that's how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
While we are there, let's venture into friendship with the opposite sex. Like we are talking about peer friendships and all that. There is this notion, how when you are friends with someone of the opposite sex, already people are looking at it like dating or, so. So, how do you see friendship with the opposite sex at your age? Diela, you go first.
I certainly think that these type of friendships can be platonic, basically meaning that you can be friends with someone of the opposite sex, not like them in any sort of way, how the generation would see it. So basically, I have a lot of, let's say, guy friends, but it's not like, oh, that person likes me or like that person likes them. I feel like there's a certain way to just base it off of, oh, we're just friends. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Diela said because what Bishop said is completely true. When you have a friend of the opposite sex, people will definitely start to question, start to think all that. But I personally think that you can have friends that are of the opposite sex without having any feelings attached, anything like that, where you guys just enjoy hanging out with each other or just enjoy, like, doing what friends do, So I definitely agree with what Deala said.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask a follow. Angie, you wanted to say something?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Angie.
So I feel like, because now that I'm a young adult, it's like now I'm thinking into the future, and like one day I will get married and have a husband. Then friends of the opposite sex, I think, is kind of gonna be non-existent because I have to respect my husband in that sense, and I don't think he'll really like that, you know. And the same thing, like I wouldn't want my husband, you know, going on dates with a girl just because they're friends. So I feel like right now, I mean, it's good and it's nice while it lasts, guys. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, yeah, I feel like you can, like they said, you can have friends of the opposite sex. Just you know your boundaries. You know, like we're just friends, and you know we're just gonna hang out and talk. And the time when you talk too makes a difference as well. Because if you're talking at 12 midnight, what you talking about? But yeah, so I feel like you can have friends of the opposite sex.
Okay, let me pause here and say, if you are watching us on Facebook, please like this service, comment under it, and share it to our members on Zoom. God bless you for being with us. We have some 20 something more minutes. And we'll get in. We'll get deeper. We'll get deeper. But please like this service, comment under it, and share it. We're having a discussion on building meaningful relationships, and as it relates to young people, there are high schoolers here, college students, and young adults. So let me ask this. So it's been established. It's good to have a great platonic relationship with. Maybe the opposite sex. Now, would you agree with me or disagree with me that sometimes, even though you have a clear mind, okay, your mind is holy, okay, concerning that relationship, the other person may have ulterior motive? How do you handle that in a relationship with the opposite sex? You think we are both in the choir, or this is an usher in my church, or this person does a camera, or we are schoolmates, or that's my friend's friend, whatever. I mean, whoever that person is, and you think, oh, that's just a friend of mine, okay, we are just friends, but that person is thinking further than that. How do you handle that? Zora, you go first. You knew he was coming to you?
Yeah, I knew.
Okay, come on, Zora.
Okay, so I definitely think that for me personally, whenever I'm making friends, any type of relationship that I'm going into, friend, acquaintance, anything, I feel like it needs to be established what it is before you guys even get too deep into it. So for me personally, if I have a friend, and I identify them as a friend, I'm going to make sure that that person also identifies me as a friend. And I think another thing that you have to go over is what you can do as a friend and what you can't do as a friend. Because I may be thinking that friends, like, we can hang out, and the other person may be thinking that we can talk at 2 midnight, stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, no, that's not going to work for me. So I feel like it just has to be defined by both people. And if in the situation that I find myself with somebody maybe I considered a friend, and they are maybe pushing the limits a little bit too much, I feel like that's when you have to communicate the most. Because if you keep your mouth closed, that person's just going to continue to do whatever they want. They're going to continue to maybe even influence you, maybe like start having you think that that's okay. So I don't know. I just feel like when you're making friends, there's just certain things that you have to be like rock solid on. Like, you're not going to change that no matter what. And you also need to communicate with that with the other person.
Dila.
Totally agree with Zora, exactly what she said. But as what you said, when you go into that relationship, you make it clear. But they still push for it. And I know my boundaries. I know what is set. I'm not trying to be rude when I say this, but I'll gravitate away from you personally, because I don't want you to sway my mind. I don't want you to divert me from where I need to go or what I need to do. So it's not hard feelings or anything, but that's what I would do. I would gravitate towards away from them.
Chris?
So going off of what Zora was saying, like establishing it in the beginning, making sure that this is what it is, especially as a male. It's easy for us to lead a woman on, especially as a friend. So as a male, I need to make sure I don't say so sweet words. I gotta make sure I be careful what I say. But let's say, she see more. I guess I'll have that conversation with her. Hey, look, this is what it is. In the beginning, this is what I said. This is what it's gonna be. But if she continue on to pursue more, and as you see her as a friend, then like Diela said, I'll have to kind of distance myself.
Yeah.
Kind of push away in a respectful way. You know what I mean? So that's what I'll kind of
Awesome.
do. Yeah, in a respectful way, please.
Awesome.
Not
Awesome.
disrespectful.
I think the oldest is Angel, right? Right? Among you. Angel is like, thank you, Bishop. Angel is not that old, but I'm talking about in the panel.
Yeah.
Angel, you start answering this one, and then from there, I think I'll go to Gideon. What do you think about high schoolers? There are no middle schoolers here, so high schoolers and dating. Generally, what are your perspectives on that, or what is your perspective on that?
I feel like high schoolers and dating. Okay, you're not ready. I'm just saying you're not ready. You're not mature enough. You don't even have your license yet most of the time. So I would just say I think it's I want to blame social media. I want to blame society, because they put so much emphasis on being loved or being in a relationship that high schoolers or younger people desire that. I feel like, being in high school, you need to focus on your studies. It's crazy. I have a little story. I was probably in 10th, 11th grade. My best friend, she had a boyfriend. And our teacher was just that's not going to last. And we thought that was the most rude, absurd thing to say, because they thought they were going to be together forever and things like that. But he was right. Until this day, they're not together. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like once you're older, once you realize your priorities and different things like that, by the time you reach that age, you're out of high school, or you're just now going into college. And so I feel like you should really just be using this time to ground yourself, get your studies in, and not get distracted. So sorry if anybody's mad, but high school relationships are pointless.
So can I have a question to Angel? Is that okay? As far as
Hold on with that question just a minute. I'll let you ask her. So don't lose the question. I want to go to the high schoolers, even though I had said, so that I want to hear what the high schoolers had to say. But Angel, thank you for that. That was awesome. Which of you will go, the high schoolers? There are two of you here. Which of you want to say something about this? How do you feel about what Angel said, or about the question?
Be honest.
So actually, me and Zora were having this conversation on Sunday, and exactly what Angel said is exactly what Zora told me. We're not ready. Point blank, we're not ready, because, and especially what she said with social media, what the world puts out to us is what let me say some students, because sometimes I don't want to associate myself with it, but that's what they want to do. So it's they think that, it's okay because everyone else is doing it. And peer pressure in high school is a big thing. So it's your friend is dating, why don't you date this so-and-so? And they'll say, let me put you on to certain, but then I have my priorities that I want to get straight, and I know where I want to be in life. So that's what I feel.
Come on, Zara. Thank you, Diana.
So definitely what Diela said, but okay, this is basically what I'm going to say. For me personally, I think that high school me personally, even if I was allowed to do that, I don't think that that's something I would engage in, just because personally me, I just don't see myself being ready to give my time, my energy into somebody other than myself. So that's me personally, but I also don't look down on people, parents specifically, who say that it's okay for their high schoolers to do that. And I say that specifically because I think that when the parent allows it, specifically when the parent allows it, let me say that. When the parent allows it, I think that they're doing that on purpose because they know that they've set certain guidelines, restrictions, boundaries in which they don't expect their kids to cross. And I think where the problem arises and what most parents and everybody's afraid of is when the lines begin to blur between what you think is okay for your age and what is definitely not okay for your age. So I think that maturity and like the child, the parents' beliefs specifically, all have something to do with it. But I also think that out of respect for my parents, that's not something I'm gonna engage in. And honestly, even if they allowed me to, that's not something I'm gonna engage in. So I just think that out of respect for your parents, you should honor whatever your parents tell you, because in most cases they have your best interests at heart. But I also don't look down on people who say that they allow their kids to do it just because I'm sure that they have their guidelines, restrictions, boundaries, all that. So yes.
Okay, Chris, now your question.
Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can piece it together. When I look at Diela and Zora, they're mature for their age, definitely. Very mature. So Angel, the question I have to you is, let's say Diela likes someone, right? And like you said high school relationship, they're definitely not ready. Can you elaborate a little bit more as far as how do Diela control her feelings, or what would you say to her feelings about how she feels about somebody, if you kind of get what I mean? Because feelings will always be there, you know what I mean? So now how do I, control the feeling? Like you said, they're not ready. So if someone likes someone, how would you kind of help them or make them understand about how they feel, if you get what I mean? Speak to my old self, because I'm speaking to my old self. This is my old self. Because I didn't get this, so I want you, kind of help me out with that.
I feel like it's with boundaries too, because you can't help feelings in a sense. So let's say Diela does like somebody, but she knows like she's not ready to be in a relationship, or maybe her parents say like you can't date until you get out of high school. So what should she do now? I would say just continue just to be friends with them, but you just have to know your boundaries. Okay. It's all about boundaries, because I can speak for myself. In high school, I did like somebody, but I knew like I couldn't be in a relationship. Okay. But we still hung out, we still played basketball, but we kept it to like a certain extent. And then too, with my parents, I couldn't be, at their house or doing things like that. But yeah, the feelings are there, but that doesn't mean you always have to act on it. Oh, just because I like you, let's be in a relationship. Like, you don't have to. I would just say like, and then same thing too, I wouldn't probably like come to the person and be like, oh, I like you. And then like, now they're thinking, oh, okay, like, let's do something, let's get something together. I would just, keep it in your heart and then pray on it. If that's the man God has for you, he will wait, the guy will wait for you, or the right time will be appropriate for y'all to be together. So, does that answer your question, Chris?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It
so
does,
just boundaries.
The boundaries, okay.
Basically.
Okay. So we've touched on how to relate to the opposite sex and boundaries and all those. Now, let's move a step ahead, even though you'll be above the heads of Diela and Zora. Not necessarily, but I'm saying they haven't gotten there. Now, Gideon, Chris, yes. You're both in college. Definitely. Angel is done. Y'all tell me, where then in that journey is it appropriate to start a relationship?
So
who wants to go? And all three of you will speak. So just a minute, just because we have a few more things. I have questions, but come on now. Who wants to go?
All right. That's a very interesting question, to be honestly speaking.
I wish Lois was here.
That's a very good question, because honestly speaking, high school, I mean, we grow up, of course, hormones start kicking in. You see a good-looking guy, you see a good-looking girl. Well, I've never seen this before. That's only in high school. But then after senior year, you're like, damn, I'm not going to see her ever again. All right, cool. Now you see college, you're like, whoa. And it's like, dang. you don't even know. You get to class or group projects. You end up being with the prettiest girl in class or the most handsome guy in class or whatever, and it's like, whoa, like I think I like them. Um, I would definitely say still be patient because once you leave high school, it's not as cushioned as college would be in terms of intentions and where people's minds are at. Because when you're in college with different ages. It's not like high school where everyone's around your age, 18, 17, 18, 17. College is someone's 25, this one's 18, this one's 30. So it's like, if you are going to, of course, be patient with it. In any relationship you ever want to start and you want to take it a step further, you think you want to take it a step further, friendship is the basis. That's key to anything because you don't know anybody until you've known them for at least 6 months. At least. And even that, nowadays, 6 months is sometimes not even enough. So I would definitely say be friends. Hang out once, twice a week. You always see them in class once, twice a week already, so you can start it from there. So I definitely talk to whoever your mentor or your good friend is before you make any decisions, and pray, of course. Of course, that's number one. So yeah.
Okay. Angela, Chris. Come on, Chris.
All right. So just going off of what Gideon's saying is definitely building that friendship. But I definitely think you should ask yourself these type of questions as far as, are you ready to make sacrifices? Are you ready to take the time for this person? Are you ready to put aside what you love doing to go out on a date with this person? So you need to question yourself, to make sure that you're prepared to do these type of things. Because I don't know, a lot of people in this generation think that, relationship is so sweet, but there's so much bitter within it, you know what I mean, and sacrifices. So definitely what Gideon says, build that friendship. Like you said, seek someone, ask for wisdom, ask someone, okay, what do you think about this? Ask the right questions, and ask yourself these type of questions. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Because I'm telling you, like I said, my past relationship, it's not easy. You know what I mean? And people come in the mindset, oh, I'm going to come, it's going to be so sweet in the beginning. Nah, it's not. Take that out of your mind. So you want to ask yourself the good questions before you step in. And once you ask, trust me, you will know if you're ready or not.
Yeah.
Come on, Angel.
Yeah. I mean, Chris really, he hit it on the head with that one. Basically, I feel like you have to be at a mental space if you're ready. If you're still trying to juggle, like doing school, trying to go to work, and then you want to talk to somebody on the phone for 10 hours and all that kind of stuff, like, okay, not 10 hours, but you just have to have, I would say, your priorities in line. And then dating with a purpose. I feel like, especially me at my age, I'm not dating for time to waste. Like, I'm dating with a purpose. So once everything in your life, I feel like once you get older and everything in your life is lining up, and you feel like you're ready, I feel like you'll know. Like, you will know when you're ready to start dating. So just, like Chris said, ask those questions and make sure you know what you're doing.
We have only 5 minutes left, so let me say this. Now, listen, let me ask this. How does, you mentioned dating with a purpose. How does it how does dating relate to when you want to get married? Okay? Within what time frame is it the best? Because you mentioned being friends, okay? And then you are talking about dating with purpose. Okay, would you say it has something to do with when you want to get married? And if so, then depending on when you want to get married, what is a good time as you look at your timeline to actually start moving that friendship into dating? It will help these young ones and the young ones out there to learn something from. So I'll start with you, Angel, on this one, since you're talking about dating with purpose.
I would say maybe with age. So if you're like 19, 20, but in the back of your mind, you don't want to get married, or you feel like God doesn't want you to get married to like 24, 25, but you're dating right now at 20, maybe then the stage of being friends and getting to know each other, and that'll work out. But, being 25, 26, I would say you're going into that friendship with a purpose. Now it's not just like, oh, let's just hang out and spend, because your time is everything, and time waits for no man. So, I just feel like it's based on your age, if in a nutshell. So I can say it real quick, yeah.
26, 27.
Compared to like 20 years old, 25, 26. For me personally, everybody's age is different, but yeah.
What do you think, Chris? Quickly.
As far as
30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So I mean, so when can you turn dating into marriage? Oh, wow. So for me, let's say 24, 25. As far as you know what you want in life, you know where you're going. The other person, your significant other, knows where she's going. That's when you can kind of turn it into, okay, we can date now. So both of you, if you guys have the vision, you both have the vision, then by far go for it.
Okay.
I don't think age 20.
Okay. I know Gideon will have something to say, but what do you consider as being ready? Like in terms of readiness, what would you say? Because let's say you want to go to medical school, you want to go to law school, you want to be an accountant, whatever. I'm just saying, okay? So someone is a freshman in college, someone is a sophomore in college, okay, a junior in college. Okay, now you have, if you're a freshman, you have a whole 4 years to do, then maybe 3 years in law school or something like that. What's a good time in terms of readiness?
I mean, I don't know, because I know some 22-year-olds who are married already, like on their second kid, and then there's some other people. I feel like stability, like financial stability, and just like if y'all get married today, are you going to live at your parents' house, or you have the means to, rent your own place or things like that? So I would say financial stability is like one of the big roles. So even if you're in school, but y'all are both working and you can afford a place together when you get married, financial stability too.
Okay. With that, I will ask this. I know it's almost time. When is the appropriate time to leave home and live on your own? I know it differs from one family to another. And please, this is parents. This is not against anybody's rules. I just want to tap into their minds. What do you think? And young ones, you can know, what do you think is the appropriate time? I know, please, whatever is said here is not what you're going to live with. Your parents, would have given you rules. But when is the appropriate time?
That's a very good question. I still think that stems back to financial stability. Definitely, if you do want to leave your parents' house, I feel like you should be making preparations beforehand in terms of saving, let's say, 6 months' rent. You have it ready. You like, okay, mom, dad, let's say 24. You already got 6 months' rent. You already know where you want to go. And your parents, of course, they're okay with it. They even help you out with the bed.
Awesome.
And you have 6 months' rent, put it there. Because I feel like there's no need for you to be living paycheck to paycheck. Yes, you're paying your rent, but you're struggling at the same time. Most likely, you're probably still in school too. So there's no need for you to cause that, bring that unnecessary stress on you when you're living in your parents' house rent-free. Free food, free water, bathing, everything.
Awesome.
So,
okay, since you have the mic, it's time. So I'll give you all 30 seconds quickly. What is your message to the young ones who watched you today, and to anyone who will be watching later on, and or you could even be speaking to parents about your final thoughts, your final, anything you want to say to those out there. Come on, Gideon, you go first.
Definitely, for parents, this is mine for parents. Definitely be more interactive with your kids. Communicate more with them. Don't push things aside. Every day you say, I've been where you're at before. I've been where you're at before. Okay, cool. If you were where we were at before, you see us getting to where you were. So why not initiate the conversation. Okay, you were in high school, hormones are coming up. I might like a girl. Talk to me about it before I get to that stage, because if you don't talk to me about it, I'm gonna learn it out there, and I'm gonna end up dating in high school, and I'm gonna end up doing something you don't know, and then you'll never know. And then when you do want to bring it up, then I'm just gonna look at you like, because I've already done it. I've already done it. I've already had my experience on it. So your experience doesn't really matter to me anymore.
Thank you.
So I would definitely say let's do more. Take the initiative, because if you don't know no better, you won't do no better.
Okay.
So
Thank you. As a parent, I'm very grateful. Come on, Chris.
So quick, I'll make it quick and short. This is towards the parents, please. We have to stop pushing things under the rug and start addressing them when it's there, like Gideon said. And also, we parents, like, don't allow the world to teach us. You guys have to come in and advise us and reason with us. You know, like I said, like, parents don't allow us to have the last say. Anytime we want to express ourselves, it's just like, no, you're being disrespectful or this and that. But, like, actually sit down and come to our mind, you know what I mean? Because we try to understand you guys, try to understand where we're coming from sometimes, and reason with us. And I'm pretty sure you will see the outcome out of it, you know what I mean? So, you know, don't allow the world to teach your kids, you know what I mean? Like, reason with them, help them out, be there for them, you know, through the pains and tears. So that's something I really have to say from the bottom of my heart, so, yeah.
I had two parents. Zora, what do you want to?
Okay, so I'll start with to
30
other
seconds.
youth. Okay, I'll start with to other youth. I definitely say invest in yourself, because right now that's like your biggest asset that you have going for you. Definitely invest in yourself. You have to invest in your education. I say don't go too much off of your friends and all that, and believe that your parents have your best interest at heart. Then also to parents, I want to say that you need to definitely give your kids the space to experience, but also move on the authority that you are the parent and they are the child. So help them to understand that, but also be able to talk to them about certain things, because like Gideon said, we don't want the world to teach us. We want our parents to teach us. So please definitely talk to your kids, and kids also understand where your parents are coming from and believe that they have your best interests at heart. I promise you that they do.
Come on, come on.
So based on what I learned.
Is it on?
Based on what I learned today, I want to speak to the youth. I want to say that stand your ground, know your priorities, know your boundaries, and don't succumb to peer pressure. Because what I notice is with the world, they throw whatever they want to throw at us. But especially us believers, we have to know who we are, especially in Christ, and who we are as a person, what we want to do in our lives, what purpose we have on this earth. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Basically what everybody else said. To the youth, like, take your time. Relationships will be there. There's no rush. Get to know yourself. Know what you like. I feel like people are just so caught up in just being in a relationship. Be alone sometimes. Go out by yourself sometimes. It's nice. So, yeah, that's for the youth. And then for the parents, I feel like your response to what your kids say to you plays a huge role. So if they come and confide in you about something and you blow up, they're not going to come back again because mom popped off on me. So really just think before you speak, because it can play an effect on how they're going to come back and talk to you again. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
just to piggyback off of what Angel said with the last part, with the parents blowing up, because if they don't come back to you, they're going to someone else. That someone else might not be the person you want them to go to. So that's what I wanted to say, add to what she said.
Wow. So Angel, Diela, Zora, Chris, and Gideon, I want to say on behalf of Lady Rev, the pastors, the leaders, the congregation of Life Chapel, and all our viewers, I just want to say thank you. You all have, been phenomenal. The things you have said. If I had spent today to talk about relationship, to young ones, I would not have achieved this. So thank you so much. We are grateful. Yeah. And thank you all our viewers, all All those of you who watch this and who watch this later on, thank you also. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share. Like this, comment under it, and share it. This will be a blessing to someone. You know, you never know whom this will bless. So please do that. That will help so much. Once again, thank you all. Let's share a word of prayer and we close. Our Heavenly Father, we are so grateful to you. We thank you for our lives. We thank you for this opportunity even to speak to the hearts of many. Thank you for these young ones that you have used to be a blessing. Father, help us parents, help the young ones that are out there also, that Father, your words will guide us. We ask, oh God, that your Spirit will take these words and order our steps, oh God, that Father, our lives will glorify you. We thank you. We honor you now. May you bless each and every one of our panelists and even the crew that helped us to put this together. We give you all the glory and honor in Jesus' name. Amen. I know I could have done conclusions and all that, but I feel like you all have preached better than I could. So there was no need for that. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.